beautiful evening to you watching us here today on Western TV from wherever you're catching us from. It's a very chilly weather here in Arua, and I don't know how it is wherever you are. And I know a lot of people have been praying to receive rain wherever they are, and yes, we are receiving rain. The weather has changed, and that is good news. It's a beautiful Saturday here in the studio of Western TV. Every Saturdays, like I said, we do the Real Talk Show here on Western TV with me, Lillian Ayot, and it goes every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. and we do run repeats during the course of the week so that you don't miss an episode. Now, how you can get engaged in today's discussion, and every discussion here is as simple as going to our social media handles, that is on YouTube and our Facebook, where you can be a part of this discussion. All you have to do is just click the subscribe button or like and share, and the beautiful part about it is that you can leave a comment or what you think about the topic of discussion today. And this is the show that brings you discussions on various topics in life, health, relationship, anything, name it, it is here. And so don't miss, because we run your favorite topics every Saturday here on West Nile TV. And today we pick on a very rare topic of discussion. Maybe it could be your first time hearing about it today here on West Nile TV. Well, I should say it may also be my first time, but it's something that many of us are not familiar with, but it's something we are supposed to be familiar with, and it's called the palliative care. That is the topic of discussion today. It's a specialized medical care that is offered to people suffering from, long-time illness. Okay, we shall have the proper discussion and definitions, explanations by experts who have joined us here in the studio. And today we are blessed with two gentlemen, two doctors here to join us on this discussion. They are going to help us understand this topic from a medical point of view, also from the social point of view, from a patient's point of view, because they get to interact with them a lot. We'll get to discuss what palliative care is, who needs it, why they need it, and why you should for instance, pick an interest in this topic, or maybe share with your family members or your friends wherever they are. And before we go further with this discussion, let's get to know our guest here in the studio today. You're most welcome to the studio of West Nile TV, and thank you for honoring our invitation. Kindly introduce yourself to our viewer.
Thank you very much, dear viewers. I'm Dr. Alpha Moses Angozu, medical officer, Arua General Referral Hospital, and a proud Rotaract Club of Arua. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alpha, for joining us here on this show, The Real Talk. I love how he says he's a proud Rotaractor. That means he's a member of the Rotaract Club of Arua. I don't know what Rotaract is, but you should find out. You should take in interest in finding out what it is. On my left here, we also have a doctor. We are glad to have you here. These are doctors from within West Nile here, and I believe they work within our hospitals here, helping people here in our community. You're most welcome. Kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you, Lillian. Dr. Robert Chandia, Senior Dental Surgeon, Arua Regional Referral Hospital, and a member of the Rotary Club of Arua. Okay,
interesting. So we have a Rotarian and a
Rotaractor
here in the studio today. One beautiful thing about it is they are doctors, and I believe Rotary or Rotaract Club, this is a group of people who come together for, we shall talk more about that. But today our focus is on palliative care, understanding what it is. Like Dr. Chandia said, he's a dentist?
Dental surgeon.
Yeah, a surgeon. So if you have problem with your tooth, whatever, anything dental related, you can get to meet him. So I'll start with Dr. Alpha. Dr. Alpha, help us understand what palliative care is.
Thank you very much. Lillian, I must say palliative care is basically the holistic approach that is given to patients who are terminally ill or who are suffering from long-term chronic illnesses, be it in any sphere of illness that we have. Terminally ill, we're talking of patients who are suffering from cancer, Cancers of whatever kind, the most commonest that we know of is cancer of the cervix. But the other cancers that are out there, then the chronically ill diseases that we have are things like chronic liver disease, which are the most common here in this region. We have also sickle cell disease. These are chronic illnesses that you have to live with. So palliative care looks at the holistic approach of all these patients. We're looking at how they stay at home, what are their relations, at home. Are they mentally affected? Are they psychologically affected? So we just don't look at the treatment in the hospital. We go further to find out, is the environment comfortable for them? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much for that detailed explanation or definition of what palliative care is. I don't know if Dr. Chandia would love to add something to that.
Yeah, as mentioned, virtually all holistic. Holistic means now you bring out the social, the psychological, all the other emotional parts of the treatment. Most times people come only responding to treatment in hospitals, but then with this you bring up the family care. You get to know what social aspects are the patients going through. They may not be able to access this treatment, so you go further and get them in their homes and get to support them from wherever they are, because they will not be able, someone with terminal illness may not be able to reach the facilities, so you go further and access them and give them support, especially in the treatment.
Okay, that is interesting. I know one of the questions running through the minds of the viewer right now is how different is palliative care and the treatment that the patients receive in the various hospitals. Are they the same things or it's different? Do we have different nurses or maybe sets of doctors that provide palliative care, or they're the same doctors we see in the medical wards and all that?
Well, thank you, Lillian. Yes, I guess we have trained in medical school that palliation is in it's like a topic in our medical school. So it's not like it's a different sector of people. But yes, as you come out, you can go for further trainings in it and become a super specialist in it. Like I am a pain-free champion, so we deal a lot in issues of pain, and that is part of the package of palliation. But there are others who have gone further to find out how do you solve these problems in the family, So it involves a lot of things that you can do. Some people, their courses, actually, their diplomas, their master's level, is offered by the Palliative Care Association of Uganda. Scholarships are even offered to go for training specifically in palliation.
Okay. So if you're a medical personnel, a doctor or a nurse outside there interested in pursuing is it also a career, or you want to, specialize in palliative care, the scholarships, like he has said. If you have any further questions, you'll know where to get him for more information on palliative care. Turning to Dr. Chandia, what does palliative care entail, and who gets the care of palliation? Sorry, who qualifies for that care?
Okay, there are quite a number of conditions that will lead to, that will require you to seek palliative care treatment. Most commonly, people with terminally ill cases, the terminally ill patients, those with cancers, the different forms of cancers, and when it has reached the later phases, he will explain more. There are different phases, maybe stage 1, but those who are now in stage 3 and you are not able to get services from the normal treatment that we offer in hospitals. Commonly they will tell you you are left with about maybe
6 months,
6 months,
3 months.
But now, whatever treatment we are giving is really not any helpful in the hospital. They will discharge you, please have some time at home, so that you will not be occupying beds and there is no treatment they're giving to you. And so, apart from that, there are other conditions like sickle cell, when you're in the crisis, it may be so painful, and the officers who are trained on palliation have the steps, there are ladders on how you can give the type of painkillers to support the patients. Sickle cell, you have liver disease, chronic liver disease, quite a number of them.
Okay.
You might also have those who have got accidents with bone fractures, which are really bad loaf, and you really need a lot of painkillers that which are not readily available in the hospital settings, because some of the drugs which are given by the palliative team are not readily accessible in the normal health system. For example, morphine. Morphine is a drug of addiction, and we call them, they are class A drugs. They are drugs which should not be given to people anyhow. So they are controlled. So these health workers who deal with the palliative care are trained and can supply these drugs and support our patients.
Okay, interesting. So people who are suffering from terminal illnesses, like he has mentioned, we have the cancer, the last stages of cancer, maybe where someone has lost hope. You know, you reach a stage where your relatives are at the hospital and they'll be like, this one, you know, you don't have to give up on such people, because there's palliative care that is given to them, and you should always reach out to ensure that they get the care that they get. And turning to Dr. Alpha, what is the difference between palliative care and hospice care? I know that question is lingering on someone's mind.
Okay, a hospice is more like of a home that caters for those that are terminally ill. Most of the times you don't find it in the hospital. It's located outside different facilities. Like we have Hospice Africa, that is the biggest in Africa, found in Uganda. Hospice, the Hospice Uganda is the biggest. So it's more of a home. Like Chandia will tell us later that we are trying to create one in Arua, a hospice, where you strictly can go there to find out what they do there. We shall offer things like aromatherapy. Did you know that in palliation there's aromatherapy? There are people who just want to smell nice food and, you know, the cure.
That is the kind of therapy I want to go.
Yeah, the people who just want to have someone talk to them and, you know, their pain is gone, they become productive in life. The people who just want dance therapy, yoga and all that, that is all entailed in palliation. So hospice is kind of like a one-stop center that can provide those services of palliation. Whereas palliation is basically the act, you know, like you come and we see you in the hospital and do all that and treat and score your pain, like Chandia says. Your pain is, we usually grade pain like from 0 to 10. So we say, okay, at around 8, you may not respond to paracetamol or ibuprofen, the common drugs. So we may need to step you up to morphine, which we readily have available in the hospital. So that is what it's all about. Then it's more of a setting. This is more like the act.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about palliative care here in West Nile. Do we have, is it called a unit that is maybe just dedicated to provide palliative care to the different patients found in West Nile? Do we have a center? Let me say, do we have a center? If we do, how far have we gone? What kind of services do we offer? And if we don't have one, are there any steps that have been taken to ensure that we get one in the region?
Well, okay. Straight to the point. We actually have a palliative care unit in the hospital, located in our outpatient unit, that supplies almost all unit and wards when called upon to see these patients and help them out. They also go out for home visits. And apart from that, we have nurses trained in the region in palliation, as well as they may not have facilities, but that doesn't stop us from providing the services. So these nurses are trained and can work wherever they are, but you know, they have kind of a small responsibility added on them on top of palliation. So we do have a unit in the hospital. It's a palliative care unit with trained people who are there to offer services of palliation.
Okay. What efforts have been made to ensure that people are aware about palliative care services that are being offered at the center, and also improve their understanding of it?
Well, We've been having some health education messages when called upon, especially on the different radio networks. We go out and talk about that. Then try to alert patients, especially when they come to the hospitals, that we have these services. And most of those who are in chronic illnesses already know where to access these services. I believe there are quite a number of people in our families we have gone through and who have got these experiences. They can tell you that those services they get. Every family has had a challenge because the diseases cut across in different organs, and you may have those with the cancers and accidents, sickle cell, hepatitis, HIV, all the different diseases. But the pain will be the one to bring you, and you'll look for that particular unit. In the hospital we have that, and in the region we have also another unit, a hospice, that is which is formed in Germany. It's called Peace Hospice. I think it was the first in 2014, formed by health workers. They came together with social workers, because it is mostly the social workers who go visit the people in their homes. They came up and set up this facility as an NGO, CBO, to support the people in our region. However, we're also trying to do the same here in Arua, the Greater Arua, to support all the different districts within Arua. We want to come up with a hospice, a larger, where we can have training for the different people. We treat people. It will be like a regional center, a regional training center, teaching, and a place where different people can come and get skills to go out and give these services in the health centers and the lower levels.
Okay, interesting. Talking about palliative care, it should be not something that is only within West Nile, nationally, globally, I believe. So I believe there's a day that is set aside to maybe celebrate, mark the day, to create awareness and all that, like every other maybe day that is set aside to create awareness about diseases or any other thing. There should be a palliative day. When is it celebrated, and what are some of the activities that have been, have marked the celebration of the day?
Thank you very much. Yes, there is a day, and like Chandia said, that this is, what should I say? This big day that has been celebrated to create basically awareness. That is one of the why we have a day. So just a brief recap. This year we are celebrating 10 years in palliation. Ever since the World Health Assembly that deals with that governs the World Health Organization set up palliative care as a separate resolution that should be integrated into the normal system. So we have it's called a World Hospice and Palliative Care Day. It is celebrated on the second Saturday of October every year. So there's kind of no fixed date, but just every second Saturday of October every year. So this year it's on 12th, last year it was on 14th. Okay. So this year's theme is basically about after the 10 years, because we're marking 10 years now, that World Health Assembly put palliative care as a separate resolution. So after the 10 years, how far are we? So they are tasking all of us to create this awareness about palliation, because governments have come further to integrate palliation into the normal healthcare system. Thank you, Lydia.
Okay, interesting. And I believe one of the organizations that have been involved in celebrating the Palliative Care Day is the Rotary Club. So I don't know how the Rotary Club, maybe of Arua or the Global Rotary Club, some of the activities they have done to mark the Palliative Care Day.
Oh yes, thank you. Bringing on Rotary. Rotary International is an organization that brings together professional leaders in our communities that come together to tackle humanitarian issues, one of the world's biggest problems. We try to solve some of these problems. And they may be in the different 7 areas of focus, things like basic education and literacy, of disease prevention and treatment, which particularly is now this supporting the palliative care. You have maternal and child health. You have support growing economies, supporting the environment, protecting the environment, peace and conflict resolution. So we have those different 7 areas. So when palliative care approached us, when the first time they approached us, what was about 2018, we were also members of the hospital there, and they saw what we have been doing in our communities, supporting in different aspects, and came to us and said, particularly because we had been having the cancer run, the famous Rotary Cancer Run that everyone has been participating in. So they came to us, how can we help them to get these funds raised? So we said, well, we shall organize some few things. Maybe we start with a charity walk. Since most times we organize a run, let's also do a walk. Maybe next time we shall organize a bicycle race, which we have been doing for supporting especially the malaria. We organize some bicycle ride, and people ride against malaria. So for palliative care, we said no, we should do a charity walk. And in 2018, we had the inaugural charity walk, which we did from town up to Nduparaka. And many people turned up and supported. We raised some funds, which were all channeled to securing the piece of land that we have now since acquired, that is in Dadam, next to the sub-county offices. I think the former sub-county, I think the system has changed. It's to be the sub-county office of Dadam. Then we have gone on to organize different, actually wanted to have it every year, but sometimes it is organizing this, especially during the COVID and after, was a big challenging for us. So we had one last year, a walk around, which was also successful for us. Then this year we also dedicated a conference where we come together as Rotarians from all the northern clubs. The northern clubs for us in our arrangement is clubs that are from West Nile. You have the ones in Gota North, that is Ngulu, Kitgum, Lira. The others also from Masindi and Hoima, they joined us. Then also others came in as friends and Rotarians from other parts of the country. They joined us here. We had an event here from 1st to 3rd of March, and we dedicated all the support we raised from there towards the palliative care session.
Okay.
They also have a palliative care session for Uganda. That's the overall body that unites them and helps them to coordinate some of the activities, giving them some funds to cover some of the activities that they do on a daily basis, especially the patients who come. You go for the home visits, and to support them.
Okay, that's very interesting. Good work done by Rotary International and the Rotary Club of Arua. Just like Rotary, you can be a part of these celebrations, like he said, every second Saturday of October. Yeah, that's when they celebrate, but you can mark the day in different ways. You can organize charity, fundraising, plus other activities, because these proceedings go into purchasing different things that help in providing palliative care to the different patients. And now maybe the biggest question someone would have on their mind is palliative care free?
Yeah.
Or it's at a cost? Because we also want to know the financial implication for the patients and also the healthcare unit that is providing it.
Yes, our services are free. Palliative care services are free. Generally, they're all free because patients come to us and they need. And with support from the government, we're able to get even drugs like oral morphine that is in supply, and we give to these patients. No one is charged. These services are free.
Okay. Sorry, you want to add something?
Yeah, in addition, but it also depends on where you're accessing them. Free may be provider to the patients, but them seeking that support. Because if a patient is in maybe Maracho or Yumbe and coming for these services, that's not free. So you want to bring it closer to them as far as possible. Those who are going from here to Kampala to access treatment from Cancer Institute or anywhere else, it is expensive. So there are those parts where you are going to incur your transportation from the part of the one who is receiving the services. You will have to incur. But most times you find these who are now in terminal illnesses, they can't afford. So you have to find a way of getting to these people and providing these services. So it's not entirely weak. It is from the provider to them, it is free. Okay. But them to access it, there is a cost implication.
Ah, okay. Interesting. And one thing you mentioned about palliative care is that you provide support emotionally, also psychologically, aromatic therapy. I think that's the part I love most. Maybe at some point I'll undertake that therapy. No, we see the difference is that you're able, these trained health workers that specialize in that area to provide the care. You give emotional support, something that maybe we see people who have, let's say, maybe cancer. What's the last stage? Maybe last stage and huh?
Yeah, there are different stages of cancer, so we usually say advanced disease to make it. Okay,
at the advanced stage of, let's say, cancer or maybe liver disease, yes. I should say. And then these people, there are patients who say, take me home. Like they take me home, they talk negative, and we also have there people who come to take care of them, caregivers who also talk negatively, and people around them in the hospital maybe start talking negatively, and the palliative care team comes with this maybe a different kind of mindset. I know there's where you want patients to feel. So how has palliative care changed the lives of patients suffering from these terminal illnesses, like we said?
Well, you just said it outrightly. You said some of the perceptions. That takes us to one of the simplest barriers, which is the cultures and the beliefs. People in our region feel if the patients are really doing badly, they would rather take them home. I don't know if it's the tradition here, and say, let the person go and pass on from home. Yeah, but it may be something very small as pain that is stopping the patient from doing their daily activities despite them having the advanced disease. Shockingly, the patients who we think sometimes that are going to die in, like, let me say 3 months, if the pain is controlled very well, they become very productive. They're able to move around. Imagine moving around in a state of no pain. Your pain is controlled, you're able to become productive. So you find that your life is actually, you don't recognize that you actually have the illness within you. You're moving forward with life, doing other things. So it kind of like, others have testified that for those, if you have attended burials, may their souls rest in peace, that the patient died peacefully and calmly. Well, I think that is one death someone would really want, and not in pain, because dying in pain, it makes you feel bad as a health worker, as the relatives, but emotionally, the relatives also feel like, yes, we feel that it's time for the patient to have rested. So there are a lot of stories that come in, but yes, most of them about prolonging life, increasing the quality of life of the patients. They're able to now do their daily activities. Oh my God, it's hard for a relative to always get up this patient and bathe them and do this. But imagine you control the pain and they're able to do that by themselves. Wash their clothes despite their terminal illness. It's awesome.
Okay, thank you for putting that out clearly. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be able to talk about some of the misconceptions that people have about palliative care and some of these, critical illnesses that different people suffer from, and we'll be also able to discuss some of the challenges that these health professionals face while providing palliative care to patients. Don't go away. This is still Westnell TV. We shall come back with more on the topic.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Thank you for staying with us, and welcome to West Nile TV. For those who have just joined us, this is The Real Talk with me, Lillian, every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. And thank you for staying with us on this discussion. Now you can go on our YouTube channel or Facebook channel, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. What do you know about palliative care? And this is our topic of discussion today. There's a lot to learn. Together with the two doctors here in the studio, we are discussing this topic, and I bet it's the first time some of you are getting to hear about palliative care and what it entails and who is who needs the services that is provided. Now we have patients who have these illnesses. A lot of you have given up on them, and this is someone who has also given up on life, but there is hope. This care helps you see life differently. It helps you give you sorry to say, when it's at a very bad stage, the doctors will tell us, give you a very smooth ending to life, that you get to appreciate a peaceful ending, if I may say, God forbid, but that is it. Thank you for joining us. We have our two doctors here. If you have just joined us, before they say something, I would ask them to repeat, you know, their names and their professions, so that we get to know them and get fully engaged in this discussion. Once again, kindly introduce yourself.
Well, thank you. Dr. Alpha Moses Angozo, General Practitioner at Regional Referral Hospital. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alpha. We're on my left here.
Yes, I am Dr. Robert Chandia, Senior Dental Surgeon at Arua Regional Referral Hospital, also member of the Rotary Club of Arua.
Okay.
Past president at that.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Yes. So he's a senior
dental surgeon.
Dental surgeon, sorry. I don't know why I failed to grasp that. So if you have problems with that, he's the person to contact. Back to our topic of discussion today, palliative care. What do you know about that? Do you know how people suffering from illnesses like maybe sickle cell that entail a lot of pain when they experience crisis, people who have cancer, advanced stages, people suffering from illnesses that cannot be cured, and then palliative care center or unit is the right place to take them. There are services that are offered to these people from painkillers and other forms of treatment to help them cope with whatever whatever challenges that they are going through. We discussed at length what palliative care is, where you can access these services, who can access it. It's for free, like you already said, but sometimes you may incur costs like transport costs if you have to travel from here maybe to Mulago, where most people go. Of course, you may incur those kinds of costs, but the services are absolutely free. And we have a lot of misconceptions around palliative care in our communities that do exist. We'll have Dr. Chandia open that discussion with some of the misconceptions that people have about palliative care.
Oh, okay. I'll talk of a few. Because when people are put on palliation, there is that misconception that they have less time to live. And of course, they're expecting them to die soon. Now, that is a big challenge to our support to these patients, because even support from the families, the immediate families, will be reduced, because they will not even want to bring these patients, to support them, to bring them to the facilities. I know of some people who once there was this lady who diagnosed with cancer, and the husband said, "What am I doing with this dead person?" He abandoned her and married another lady, and with all the children and all that. Then another husband went as far as selling off their property, knowing that she has less time to live. And what she was going through was not even just the pain of the disease, but now the pain of having a non-supportive partner. So there are lots of things that people go through in these facilities, in our communities, and that's where we come in to educate them, give them this support. There are those who have properties, and once they realize you are now terminally ill and you had been admitted, they begin sharing your property. There's one who has stayed since 2014, and they thought she was gone. But when we went to listen to her story, up to now, that is, she's strong and everything. She's able to write her will, make something, how she will divide her, give her property. She is now ready to pass on in,
Okay.
with that happiness that, if I go, I was ready to go. But we have to deliver these messages to different people down there.
Okay. You know, it's interesting how some of you think you can just decide, you know, this one is left with a few days, just going, let's start selling the properties. I mean, the audacity you have. You don't have authority over someone's life. Like he has said, there are people who have, you know, defied the odds and lived beyond the months, the years that were given to them. People fight through. Just because you know, you're not giving them the proper environment to fight some kind of, you know, sometimes it's not medicine that help people recover. It's also the kind of environment, the talks that you know, you have around them that helps them either overcome or just give up on whatever they're suffering from. Dr. Alpha, you've dealt directly with some of these patients. What are some of the misconceptions that people have about palliative care?
Oh, yes. Like you just said, one of the most interesting things that you said, it's not about the treatment. Speech. Some people need, you know, speech therapy is good. Someone listens to your problem, and sometimes you actually find that their problems are actually much better than sometimes yours. It's funny how, because they say a problem shared is a problem solved.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. So some of the misconceptions, just to mention a few, like Chandia said, there's that misconception that morphine will get you addicted in palliative care. No, morphine will not get you addicted. Morphine is not a drug of addiction. That's why they're able now to have it. Back at the days in 1990s where they would lock it in a cupboard and you have to look for the in charge wherever they are. Morphine is accessible as long as the pain is scored very well. Yes, so there's that misconception that morphine will cause addiction. There are drugs of addiction, but morphine will not cause addiction. But like every drug, it has side effects. Even just like me drinking water, too much of it. So the only side effect that most people have is the constipation. But that doesn't mean you can get you off the drug. We can have remedies to help the constipation. As simple as the conservative one, like a lot of avocados and all that. That is one. Second, that it's only for people who are terminally ill. Oh my God. That misconception, like Chandia said, terminally ill. That's not it. We have managed people who are living beyond, and you know, like he said, orthopedics, we have had a very serious fracture, you have nerves damaged, you continue having those pains, the neuropathic pains and all that. But with these remedies they give you, during rehabilitation, you will feel good. So that misconception is not there. It should not be for only the people who are dying, you know. It's for those who also have the normal illnesses and they cannot, the different remedies of pain management in some of these patients. And then like the last one you said, it's only for pain. It's not only for pain. Palliative care is not only for pain. It's social, it's mental, it's a lot of things. It's not only for pain. We don't only deal with pain. Women don't deal with your financial problems because we're not a bank. But yes, we can listen and see, well, shouldn't you have done this? You know, it's more of counseling and guidance and better ways of managing life stressors, because I believe all of us have stressors in life.
Sure.
So it's not only for pain. It involves a lot of things, holistic, the patient, the whole individual as a package.
Okay. Interesting. So he has cleared the misconceptions that people have about palliative care. And I want to turn to Dr. Chandia, and we want to understand the role of family caregivers in giving palliative care.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Lilian, once again. Family is the first point of contact for the patient. Your immediate family are going to be the one to notice your behavior, the change in you, and once they are supportive, you will get that courage to come to the facility to seek treatment. Now, many people have that poor health-seeking behavior, and so it should be the family to encourage you. Your family, then friends, then the circle continues like that. But we look at, because once you are already sick, you are not able to make the immediate decisions, and especially if you are not able to move to the facility to seek for this treatment. So the family will be the first point of contact that can help you. Then you go to the community, the friends come in to support you to get to the facilities for this treatment. Now, most times when we have those families, as I said, they realize you are sick and they have tried all the different places. They will go to the herbalists and all the different, they go and pray for you, bind you, and things are not working. And of course you will have to, someone has to come up and say, let's go and seek medical treatment. Then from the medical treatment, you will get to know about palliation and all the other, what can be provided by the health providers. So you can't keep them out from your support.
Okay. So as family members, as caregivers, you should be able to know your role in this, because it's not only the health care providers, but you also play a very big role. They can come around, maybe talk to your patient, give them treatment, but then what do you do in their absence? What you do has to complement what they do so that the patient also recovers. Now turning to Dr. Alpha, let's look at the role of healthcare professionals in providing palliative care in addition to that of the family members, and you can also add on the role of the family members or caregivers in this.
Okay. One, like you already said earlier, the role of the health workers. This is not only for the health workers, also the families. It's to create awareness. You see, you literally are saying that some people are hearing this today. Yes. It's the fact. There are health workers like us also who don't know about palliation. So we need to create awareness within ourselves, within our small communities, and then let's go outside there. Because like Chandia said, the family is, once we create awareness, we shall go to the next step of where people will be able to identify these people in the community, the people that need these services that can help them improve their quality of life. Because palliative care, the ultimate goal is improving your quality of life as an individual. So after that we have identified, we need to link them. The times like Chandia said, they are as far as in Maracha, but we have phone contacts. We have WhatsApp groups all over. It's simple as asking, do you know anyone who offers palliative care in this region? Yes, and we can reduce those costs. They'll be like case, and then the patient will be assessed. If the patient is assessed and they need this type of morphine, it can be picked. Imagine like a health worker is going to that region. You can take morphine for someone who is in Maracha who needs it, and you save them that cost. So after that, we have identified that, and all of this is done. We need to follow up also. It's not all about, after now that you've treated, you just, abandon the patient. We need to follow up as health workers to really see, is your intervention improving the quality of life of the patient? How are the family? How are they surrounded? Are they happy with the patient right now? That the patient is no longer a burden to them. The patient is a source of joy to them. So we need to follow up during, and these are the home visits where we also have that, that gap still, because we don't, do that. Then also integrate palliative care in your daily activities, It might be a bit in dental. Dr. Chanda is a dental surgeon, but he's a palliative care champion, He knows all this. So don't wait to be in the emergency unit in dental. Even in Gain, they need palliative care. Even the children need palliative care.
Okay.
Even
that
TB
brings
units.
us to the question, how can we integrate palliative care in the healthcare system?
Wow.
It's already integrated.
It's already integrated.
Okay.
Yes, it's already integrated. We just need to create awareness so that people should know. Because even in the registration, like follow-up, their columns, is the patient on palliative care already for registration and follow-up. So it's already integrated. But right now is the awareness that we need to really put out there. Let it go out to the people that palliative care is this and this, it is holistic. And these services are free of charge, except like Chandia said, you need transport to come if you're far away. But if you're nearby, well, let's not abandon these people in the communities out there.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're adding something?
in community outreaches that are organized by the hospitals, you might be going to carry out vaccinations and all that. So you integrate, you bring those people from members from palliative care as they're going for the outreaches. If there are patients in the community who need these services, you go and check on them. And then, as mentioned in the family care, family giving, they will identify if, for example, you have forgotten to take your medication, or you are not doing well and you're not able even to make that to reach the facility. You will identify this. Sometimes these patients don't go, they don't have some foods to eat, and yet you should have proper nutrition, the balanced diet. So when you go out to visit them during the home care, you assess the different things. You see the hygiene, the nutrition, you see whether they are having any challenges around with the community. The community may be very harsh and want to grab their property. Like one, we went to visit and almost everything was being taken. Why are you taking? You are dead. You are sharing my. You should not come and fetch water from this well. I mean, they segregate. You don't want them to come to some of the facilities. So it is what we identify in there. Ask them if there are any challenges in the community. Then they will let you know. Then we come prepare messages, go and educate the community there, let them know that any of them can also fall into this, and they should not be creating discomfort for people within the community.
Okay. One thing that we can ably observe in our communities is that people with sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia need this care so much, and people who have cancer. But then one of the challenges as we get to talk about all this is that a lot of people attach these things with witchcraft. You know, someone has sickle cell disease and they're saying, you went this, you offended such a person. Someone has, let's say, cancer of the throat, and say you took something from someone, and that is why you so those kinds of perceptions or misconceptions, like, again, also challenges come in the way of helping these people access these diseases. What deliberate effort has been done to ensure that people are aware about, let's talk about sickle cell disease, because a lot of people let's say in this region have sickle cell disease. Some are carriers, but they totally don't know that they carry these genes in their system. What deliberate effort has been made to ensure that people know their status and also know how to help these people that have the disease?
Yes, deliberate effort. One is creating awareness. I have forgotten the actual date for World Sickle Cell Day, but it exists.
In September.
Yes, it's in September. Thank you very much. There is World Sickle Cell Day. That is creating awareness. Second is counseling during, let's not wait to first marry, you know, and you go for this type of counseling. You need to go for counseling. In counseling is where they do these genetic checks. You get it? Because if they realize that you're a sickler and your partner is a sickler, definitely you're going to give birth to sick throughout. You get it? So we need to go for this counseling and see. Well, during the counseling sessions, they do testing. They send you to the lab and say, let's us test and see. It's more like let's prevent this, you know. I know sometimes it's the harsh thing, but the bit about it is why you will prevent more sicklers in your generation, because it's really to see those kids in pain. In PID there, and they don't go to school, yet they're supposed to be going to school. It's not a good experience. So the next is health education sessions that we hold in hospitals. Chandia said it, even during the outreaches that they go to, these are health education sessions that should be held. Even on the wards, we hold these health education sessions for these people. We told them about chronic diseases, not only even to the patients, to the doctors also. We have what we call continuous medical educations, both physical and online, to teach about sickle cell disease, so that this is managed. But the main thing is basically going for testing. Because most times we only care about our blood group. What is your blood group? Oh, you run away. You don't want to know the rest. You only know I'm a universal donor, universal recipient. You don't know that actually they check for other diseases as much as possible, like hepatitis, syphilis, and going for sickle cell test is one of them. I know the test is being launched out maybe to facilities, but if you have the fee, you can actually go out and have it tested. You get it? So these tests are done, and to know your status, basically, are you a sickler, are you a carrier, and what are your chances? Because if I am a carrier and you are normal, then we are not going to get a sickler. But imagine both of us are carriers. That means there's a chance of a sickler in between. Yeah. If you do the genetic kind of cross-matching we do those days in biology, you know, the recessive genetics. Things. Yes, the genetics. So the main thing is creating awareness on TVs, on all platforms, in hospitals. Please get tested and know your sickle cell status.
Okay.
Actually, they say love is blind. In our situation, we fall in love anywhere. You don't get to know about our families and what people get to meet.
You know,
in
people
the
get
clubs
to focus so much on the HIV tests, leaving out all these others.
You just meet someone in the club or somewhere and you're falling heels over, you know, and you don't do background check. We should get to these things to prevent.
That is a nice one. Background check from the family. It's not laboratory based, but just asking, do you have sickle cell in your family?
It's a nice history of that.
Well,
okay, thank you.
For someone who has sickle cell history in the family, it would be nice to be open to your partner, because if you don't open up about it, it's like you're punishing your own child, because you'll have to live with the pain of seeing your child go through the pain. You can't do anything about it, but you know, apart from medication, there is nothing more that you can do. So it's always good to be open about it. Now, as we come to the conclusion of today's discussion, I want to look at the role that technology plays in advancing palliative care to different people wherever they may be. We've seen how technology has evolved, how someone can just access information on anything, anywhere, wherever they are. So how has that helped advance palliative care to the different people in our communities?
Well, thank you, Lillian and my colleague. Well, technology is very important for us in one, getting the education, because not everything you will learn from the school. Sometimes you even forget that, and you can't go back to the books. You have to get there, search more from the internet, get to learn the newest, the latest treatments. You can get that online. Then secondly, passing on messages. You can have, if you can record information that can be distributed to the different people, record them, audio, you can make them video presentations and all that. People on WhatsApp, you can send that all, and they get to learn. That is to educate people. Then of course, linking up with our clients. Now, because of the advancement here we have, you can get to the different questions in different parts of the world. You don't necessarily have to come physically. You let us know how you are feeling. Then when we realize that this is an emergency, whatever you are saying, we can now decide the emergency status and go and attend to you from wherever you are in the community.
Okay. Thank you so much. He's able to explain how technology has helped patients also get maybe information, access this palliative care services. It's as simple as going online and finding, you know, searching. There's a lot of information there. It's even simple that you can get a doctor's appointment online these days. For anything that you want, it's the internet. So I'll still ask our doctor here the same question from the point of view of a healthcare provider. How has technology helped advance palliative care services?
I think technology has done a lot. if you start with education-wise, you're able to study online and learn these things about palliative care. And the latest therapies, we have neuropathic pain. This is pain related to nerves. But with the latest advancements in drugs, we have drugs that, imagine, can regenerate nerves, and if a nerve was cut in between, the nerve grows and joins back one to the other. Secondly, to add on is, if you don't treat, my God, you really can remain ignorant. I'll give an example of a colleague of mine who one time, attended to one of the patients, a foreigner from abroad, and the patient had something that looked like a patch, like a plaster, and he removed it, and the patient burst in pain, and when we asked, what is this? The patient said, this is my pain relief. Oh. So technology has gone that far in that you can have a pain relief that looks like a patch, just a patch, put on you like a plaster. It releases small amounts of pain, small amounts of medication to relieve your pain slowly. It can take as much as 1 week, and that's how far we are going. Outside countries, they're using patches for controlling pain. Wow. They are no longer taking a lot of morphine to remove the side effects constipation. It's just a patch. So that's how far, I must say, technology has gone in relationship to palliative care.
Okay,
yeah.
That's interesting. I would love to see that come to Uganda, because I know people who don't like taking tablets. So that would be a very good alternative. Yeah, but we cannot deny the advancement that has come with technology. Now we see people doing chemotherapy, all sorts of things happening to help people in treatment of various diseases that they face. As we conclude, we want to look at some of the challenges. I know we talked about some, but there are those that we have not talked about from both the sides of, let's say, the patients, the families, their caregivers, and also the health professionals that provide the palliative care services to them. I will start with Dr. Chandia.
Oh, I will talk about the community.
Okay.
Well, biggest is lack of funding for these activities, for these services. Most times we have relied on funding from abroad, donations, from the people who have done this before. It is a relatively new concept in our setting, health care. So there are challenges of funding towards it. We may release a little money to have these activities carried out. Our health system is that kind where people seek for help. You come and you treat here. But we need to go out and support the people in the community and prevent even. So there should be funding for such. There are, of course, budget cuts, as you also know. A third of our budget has been cut, Ministry of Health. So you have those challenges, then it's going to make it, but we hope with support from our communities, if they can come in and understand these challenges that we go through. We should not expect that there is money. We should come together, support the people in our community, and we can also go a step further to help them access services in the facilities. Another challenge would be maybe stock out of some of these drugs. For example, the morphine is provided by national medical stores, but it is only made from Hospice Uganda. Okay? There is only one place which is providing this, and then it supplies to the whole country. Now, sometimes most of our patients experience these stockouts. The morphine may be out of stock, and then you can't access it anywhere. Now, this is a big challenge for the patients. So we could ask also, maybe the investors around. We have people around who are investing in producing water, Produce. Why can't you come in? Come in and produce some of this. You ask for from the investment arm, ask to help. Because, for example, if we could have a factory producing morphine here, it will supply South Sudan, Congo, and Uganda. We'll have all these patients accessing here. It could be also at a minimal fee.
Okay.
So those could be the two major challenges for.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chandia, for spelling out those challenges and also some recommendations. Dr. Alpha, what are some of those challenges that you face as health professionals, and also some recommendations maybe to the public and also to, let's say, the ministry, the government?
Well, I think with the government, it's doing a lot with integration of palliative care. I must say that is a good thing. We would fight no one about palliative care, so it is there and it's being followed up. So I would like to put basically the four main challenges that I think I've noticed of recent. That is, like I said, is the lack of awareness. Let's create awareness out there. Let's create awareness. Beat it, even if you're seated with a friend at a football match of Arsenal and Manchester, create awareness that you know that there's palliative care. Never know the friend may tell you I have a patient who has alcoholic liver disease at home and is in pain. So let's create awareness. That is the greatest challenge that I've seen that is top notch in all of us, even amongst us health workers. Let's create awareness about palliative care. The second is the culture and beliefs. A lot of, should I say, my lecture used to call it dogmatic, like old cultures are being practiced. The dead don't need to be, like Chandia said, isolated and put there like this one is gone, is a moving corpse. No, you'll be shocked that actually when you really manage their pain, they'll become more productive than you. So those cultures and beliefs about palliative care only being for the terminally ill, those who are about to die in weeks. No, please. Palliative care can be you. Let it not be you actually. It can actually take up you also when you need it. So let's learn that it's not only for the terminally ill, it's not only for those chronically ill, but also you may be needing it. Then the third one that I would be basically focusing on is what I said earlier, that it's not only about pain. It's not only about pain. It is holistic of the patient. That let's see the patient as a whole in the hospital. As much as you're quick to run and see that there's typhoid, how sure are you that the patient doesn't have other reasons? You get it? Other, complaints that has brought in the patient to hospital. The patient may be having their chronic pain somewhere that they have lived with that has worsened. So, and then the last one is the implication about morphine being addictive. It's not addictive. It is available, like Chandia said, but if there's stockouts, we still have other remedies that we really can do at times and say, please, morphine will come, but have this. And there are different remedies that we have. So let's not think as health workers that morphine is addictive, Morphine has no ceiling dose. We have net, like I said, you can't find it has no ceiling dose. You know the drugs that are addictive. Those are things like pethidine. So let's not think that patients are going to have substance abuse. It is controlled. You're given a dose after we have found out what level of pain you have. So those are the few challenges, the four main challenges that I've noticed, and I hope we can work on that as health workers and the community at large. Okay,
thank you very much.
The holistic part.
You want to add on that? Little. Okay.
Yeah, you know, most times when the ones who have these diseases, you might find that the person has been in civil service, public service, and then all of a sudden develops these conditions. Now, the example I was giving was of someone who was a teacher and, was about to retire, and then all of a sudden the community became very, were not supportive, then just had to seek the support from the hospital. After getting the treatment, improved her life, was able to go and process her, process benefits, and life improves, educate the children and all that. Now you feel really happy that you can now go. at any moment. Yeah? So it is, you even die very happy, you know, whether it is in your sleep.
So the point is for you to have a peaceful sleep.
Yeah. Let it be a better quality of life.
Improved quality of
Not
life.
painful.
That explains that. That we've come to the conclusion, the end of today's show. But before we conclude, we'll get your last messages to our viewer. What's that takeaway that you want our viewer to go with from the discussion that we have had today?
Well, we are coming out with messages that we shall pass on to the community. We have activities that we are looking at to support this organization. We have the organization called New Life Hospice that we want to have a home for them, where that will be the hospice where we attend to patients who need palliative care. And don't get tired of us as the public, please. Never get tired of us when we come in asking for support, because we come up with fundraising activities. You may organize a charity walk, you may organize a dinner, you may organize anything which we think can raise funds towards such a cause. So don't get tired of us. We are also trying to improve, to serve humanity. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, it comes back to supporting a good cause, you know. So when these dinners are organized, you know, the what are they called? The produce or something goes for to improve the lives of people out there. Dr. Alpha, it has been a very fruitful discussion. What is your takeaway from today's discussion?
Like my colleague already said, to the general public, to all health workers, come support us when the time comes. We really need to create a hospice in West Nile where we can offer these services and even offer, you know, it's a source of, should I say, academic, a center of academic excellence for people to come and do these courses. We have people who are brilliant. West Nilers are brilliant. So who can go to school and learn more about palliation. Imagine if there are very many in every home that is offering care. You have someone there. It can be awesome. So come support us whenever called upon. And finally, one senior once told me that when you're in any field, leave something that when you fall back, it may actually be good. Giving an example, I would want to create a health environment in the hospital or work and have these palliative services in a way that never know it may be me, because I'm not going to be young forever, so that when I go back, I also get the good service that I left there. And that is it. Let's support palliative care in West Nile and Uganda at large. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Alpha and Dr. Chandia, for joining us on today's discussion. Yeah, I take that. Thank you very much, and thank you. You're a proud Rotarian and a Rotaractor. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the good cause that you do. And for you who have stayed with us on this discussion, thank you. I hope we have picked something from today's discussion. Palliative care is something that it's for free. You can ask your doctors in the hospitals or the doctors of the patients that you are attending to about palliative care, or you can just go online and you know, get to know some of this information, what it is, how you can access it, for whom it is. I know we have people out there, most times we see in the hospitals when people are in very critical conditions, you prefer to take your people home, but we also have these doctors, specialized doctors and nurses who provide this care. They can go visit in your homes to see that your patients or you yourself, your quality of life is improved. Don't forget, palliative care entails a lot of things, from pain management to psychological support. There's also end-of-life support. that is provided to people, you know, who are about to, so that they have a peaceful end of life. It's not in a bad way. Instead of letting someone go when, you know, they have negative thoughts, you are speaking a lot of negativity around them. So palliative care entails a lot, and we hope that today's discussion has helped you. And if you're still curious, all you have to do is go to your nearest health center and ask, or you can just go online and find more information. Don't suffer in silence. Don't let your loved ones suffer in silence. Don't let someone in your community suffer in silence when you can help. Also help spread awareness about palliative care and all that. That is why we are all here together. We are much stronger. Like he said, if you're not informed, and then you look kind of dumb sometimes. So let's make sure we are informed by getting the information where necessary, and accurate information for that matter. Well, from West Nile TV to you, we thank you so much for staying with us. A big shout out to our director Elliot. Thank you for making sure this show runs well, and our producer today, producer Jonah, thank you for staying with us. We've missed you a while on this show, and have a very, very lovely Saturday. See you again next Saturday, same time, 8 to 10 p.m. From West Nile TV to you. Enjoy your evening, and yeah, tomorrow don't forget to go for prayers. Otherwise, see you again next Saturday. Ciao.